The Hands-Tied Presidency, NYTimes.com. Subscribe, digital/home delivery. Log in. Register now. Help. Homepage. Today's paper. Video. Most popular. Edition, US/global. Search all NYTimes.com. World. US. NY/region. Business. Technology. Science. Health. Sports. Opinion. Arts. Style. Travel. Jobs. Real estate. Autos. News analysis. The Hands-Tied Presidency. By Axel Gerdow. Think back. Limits of presidential power. While President Obama seeks Congress approval for military action in Syria, writer-at-large Sam Ta-Nehisi looks at earlier American presidents who worked to expand their powers. By Sam Ta-Nehisi. Published, September 7, 2013. As the debate on the Syria intervention began in Congress last week, some wondered why President Obama, who has been frustrated repeatedly by Republican legislators, would risk being thwarted yet again and possibly jeopardize the ability of future presidents to pursue ambitious foreign policy objectives. Enlarge this image. Halt and archive/Getty Images. Woodrow Wilson, who saw the president as the unifying force in our complex system, on the campaign trail. In explaining his decision, Mr. Obama stressed constitutional imperatives. "I'm the president of the world's oldest constitutional democracy," he said, adding that he must respect members of Congress who want their voices to be heard. But Mr. Obama might also have been acknowledging something else, that he holds office at a time when the presidency itself has ceded much of its power and authority to Congress. His predecessors found this, too. Bill Clinton discovered it after the 1994 election, when Newt Gingrich, the architect of the Republican victory in the House, briefly seemed the most powerful politician in the land. George W. Bush discovered it 10 years later when he claimed a mandate after his re-election, only to see two of his prized programs, privatizing Social Security and immigration reform, wither amid resistance in Congress. This is the history Mr. Obama has inherited. The major accomplishment of his first term, his healthcare reform bill, owed less to his leadership, perhaps, than to that of Nancy Pelosi, the House Speaker in 2009-10. In his second term, Mr. Obama effectively rallied public support for gun law reform, and yet the bill was defeated in the Senate. The perception that this is a time of diminishing presidential power has even made its way into popular culture. A decade ago, television's top political drama was The West Wing, with its idealistic president and his smart and hyper-energetic staff who charged through the hallways and camped in their offices at night. Contrast this with the signature political fictions of the current moment. In the HBO comedy Veep, the humor flows from the mordant premise that the neurotic, bumbling vice president, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, is a heartbeat away from the White House whose occupant is all but invisible. In the Netflix melodrama House of Cards, the president is a bystander of his own administration. It's run instead by the conniving House Majority Whip, played by Kevin Spacey, who in one storyline exerts his power in a marathon markup session in which House members insert pet provisions in a bill. Divided government has been a staple of American politics for many years, and Mr. Obama, the former professor of constitutional law, needs no education in the system of checks and balances. But analysts usually emphasize other factors. In ideological terms, there is a Tea Party caffeinated insurgency within the House Republican caucus. In personal terms, there is Mr. Obama's inability to charm adversaries as Ronald Reagan did. And while the executive branch's role in national security has grown mightily in recent decades, Mr. Obama's decision to go to Congress arguably shows a greater deference on war and peace than any president since Franklin D. Roosevelt. But what if the problem isn't a matter of ideology or personality? What if it is structural and institutional? This is the case some political theorists have been making for many years. The actual form of our present government is simply the scheme of congressional supremacy. One close student of politics, Woodrow Wilson, wrote in his book Congressional Government, published in 1885, when Wilson was not yet 30, and when a succession of weak presidents, Ulysses S. Grant, Rutherford B. Hayes, Chester A. Arthur, seemed unable to master the uses of power. Wilson did not fault individual presidents. Instead he pointed to the weakened condition of the presidency itself. "Its power has waned," Wilson wrote. "And its power has waned